Hey treasures, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys another high school story, another adding on to my high school series, and I'm going to be telling you about the time that I had a crush and I kissed his best friend instead. So yeah, if you want to hear about the time that I seriously probably ruined my chances, then let's carry on. So I just want to preface this video by saying that you're in high school, are you really gonna end up with the person you're in high school with? No, just because I had a crush did not mean it was just a crush. And me and this guy that I ended up kissing, me and him were good friends before, and we stayed good friends after, so it wasn't anything too crazy that happened, but it was something that happened, and so I'm gonna tell you guys about it. Also, I want to preface this video by saying that if I'm echoing, it's because I'm in an empty room. So let's see. This started when I was in the 9th grade, actually. I met this guy, and I'm talking about the guy I had a crush on. We're gonna call him for this video, what are we gonna call him? Hunter.
Right.
What? Hunter. And we're gonna call his best friend Dustin. So Hunter is the guy I have a crush on, and Dustin's his best friend, also my friend, okay? So I met Hunter in the 9th grade, and I just thought that he was the nicest kid. He was so nice. He always had a smile on his face, and he wasn't the cutest guy in the entire world, but I thought he was cute, and then his personality just made him that much cuter. So I met him in the 9th grade, and we kind of talked, but nothing to whatever, because in high school when I had a crush on somebody, I definitely didn't let them know. I was so oh my god, I have a crush on this person, don't tell them though, that. I was definitely not the type of person to be okay, I have a crush on you, do you want to start talking? No. So I ended up becoming friends with him, and we exchanged numbers and all that social media stuff, and we would talk on social media, but in person I'd be a little bit shy, not too shy around him, but I'd be a little bit more shy around him, and we wouldn't have deep conversations or anything like that. And pretty much this happened for my entire high school career. And so let's get into the 10th grade. So in 10th grade, I became best friends with this girl, and that's a whole other story. I should put that in my bank. But I became friends with this girl, and she's not really that relevant to the story, so I'm not going to give her a name. I became best friends with this girl who just so happens to be good friends with Hunter and Dustin. So me and this girl became good friends, and so I started hanging out with Hunter and Dustin a lot because she hung out with them a lot. And, my crush for Hunter became stronger, and, me and Dustin had this flirtation friendship thing, but that was pretty much what it was, because I was a flirt back then with everyone but who I had a crush on. So me and this girl ended up going to our friend's house, and the guy's house that we went to is good friends with Hunter and Dustin as well. So we ended up going to his house, and it just so happened the next day, the guy's house, we're just gonna call him, I don't even know, T, because I can't think of anything else. So we went to T's house, and the next day it was going to be his high school graduation, because he was older than us. And so, we're kind of talking about that whole thing, and talking about what we're going to do after, and blah, blah, blah. And so he wanted me to come, and I went with, my girl best friend at this time. And so we ended up going, waking up early the next day, and we ended up going to T's graduation, and then we went back to T's house. And the thing about T was that he had a crush on me, but I was just so not down, and obviously I was in the prize, even though I kind of got with his friend. We're at T's house, and we're oh, congratulations, you graduated, you're done high school, whatever. And so I can't really recall what happened, but my girlfriend was with her boyfriend, and they were kind of just talking and stuff like that. And so I'm with the boys, Hunter and Dustin, okay? And so we ended up like going down to T's room, and the way that his room was, it was like in the basement. So we're like going down the stairs, and then you can kind of like see his bed like over here. And so I ended up just like going on his bed, and so on the bed it was it was T, my friend, and then her boyfriend left, and then me, and then it was Dustin, and I think Hunter had left for some reason, then he was gonna come back. So I'm like chilling, and then me and Dustin, you know, get into our own conversation, and my friend and T are talking to each other. And so eventually, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was I don't know what I was particularly on, but I guess our flirtationship went up a bit, and Dustin starts to kiss me. And I'm like, okay. So I was down, you know, his lips were like super soft. And so I'm kissing him back, and I'm not like, Hunter is far from my mind. Who is Hunter at this point, okay? So I'm like kissing Dustin, and I don't really feel no ways about it. Like, yeah, T kind of had a crush on me, but like it wasn't a serious crush, if that makes sense. And whatever, it was just my best friend, so who cares, right? And so they eventually like leave and like leave us alone or whatever. And so then me and Dustin are together, and we're like in the bed and we're kissing. And again, if you've seen my last video, I will link it in the icon here. But in my last video, I said that I did not want to lose my virginity in high school. So this came up again, and while I was kissing, you know, Dustin, and he was a great kisser. To be honest, he's probably one of the best kissers I've ever kissed in my life. But anyways, while I was kissing Hunter, I was like, no, like, you're not having sex at all, definitely not here, but like, you're not having sex in high school. And that just like immediately went through my brain after, you know, we were alone and like kissing, and he's like on top of me, and our clothes stayed on, okay? So I was like, no. So then I excused myself, and I was like, oh, I have to go upstairs, and like, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna go get a, if I can talk, I'm just gonna go get a drink. And he's like, okay, cool. So I ended up going upstairs, and T was outside, I believe, and my friend was like sitting on the couch, and she's just like looking at me like, and I in particular didn't really know what to say, because at the same time, like, she's just like, hello, what was that? Like, you like you like Hunter, so, you know, how is that whole thing gonna work? Whatever. And, you know, I was just like, honestly, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not like we're gonna be together now. It's not like we're gonna start talking. It's just whatever. Like, it happens, you know. I don't regret it. It happens. But so yeah, let's fast forward like a couple days, and I was just like, you know what? You know, kind of like Dustin. Like, Dustin's cool. Me and Dustin always like flirted together. Me and Dustin have always been friends, and his lips were fantastic. So whatever. I kind of like the both of them. Like, whatever. And so I remember I was with my friend again, and we're just hanging out at her house, and I guess she had talked to Dustin before, like prior to me hanging out with her, and she told me like, oh, I don't think you should be like trying to get with Dustin. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna try and get with him, but like, whatever, we're just flirting. And she's like, no, like, I don't think you should. And I'm like, why? And she says, well, I was talking to him the other day, and he told me that he thought you were easy. And I was like, bitch, easy where? Like, let me know. Easy where? So I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, bet. She's like, don't say anything, whatever. I'm just telling you, you know, because like, you're my best friend. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to say something, because like, nobody is going to be talking shit about me. And like, in high school, I was super like, oh my god, what does everyone think about me? You know, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, no one's gonna be spreading any type of shit about me like that, right? So I messaged him, and I was like, oh, so I heard that I'm easy, right? And he's like, oh, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, don't even try and play right now. If you think easy is kissing a girl, then you have a lot to learn, because we just kissed. That was it. We've been friends for a year, like 2 years. We're like bro, tell me, what's easy about me? And he pretty much had nothing to say. And Dustin and Hunter were together all the time. You could not find one without the other, okay? They were together all the time. So, you know, granted, obviously, Hunter knew what happened between me and Dustin. Granted, Hunter was there when I was cussing Dustin out. And granted, you know, with that whole thing, like him seeing that side of me, probably was like, okay, this girl is like, I'm not gonna go there. Not that I think he would go there anyways, because, you know, we would have never just been a thing. So he was just unattainable to me for, you know, cultural reasons. But yeah, I think that probably, if he ever like thought I was like interesting, I'm pretty sure me kissing his best friend didn't help anything, and me cussing him out after didn't help anything. So yeah, I never ended up getting him. I didn't get anybody I liked in high school, to be honest, though. But a year later, or my grade 12th year, actually, because that happened in grade 10. My grade 12th year, everyone knew that was my friend, pretty much, that I had a crush on Hunter. But, like, I was more, like, laxy-days about it, and I didn't really care to be hush-hush about it anymore, because I was like, we're in 12th grade, like, we're almost done with this shit. Like, I'm never seeing most of you people ever again, you know. And so, like, I didn't really care if people ended up telling him, but I still was not gonna go tell him, you know, because it was like a crush that like just stays there, but it wasn't like a crush like I was ever gonna do anything, like it wasn't that strong, you know. And so I told like this girl that I was like friends with and hanging out with for like the past like 2 years, obviously she knew I had a crush on Hunter, and one day like I see them like hanging out and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, they've always been like good friends. And then I find out one day that they're dating, and I was like, trust no bitch in high school, okay? Anyways, guys, that is my high school advice. That is, no, I'm joking. That was a time that I, you know, hooked up with my crush, my 4-year-long crush's best friend in high school. And it didn't turn out that great. But me and, just to wrap things up completely, me and Dustin stayed friends and stayed flirting, and like we're completely cool now. Like it was nothing. But yeah, that was that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video, and it will be, no, it probably won't be a makeup tutorial, but that will be coming probably the week after. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Right, yeah. I'm in town and I got all night, yeah, and I'll make sure